just giving my recap of UFC Fight Night Delidze versus Hernandez. This was a pretty fun card all the way through. Starting with the opener of Cody Brundage versus Eric McConico. Turns out Cody Brundage is a little worse than we all thought. I thought this was a no-brainer for Cody Brundage. He clearly loses this fight. Nothing too crazy happened. On to the next one. Then we have the women's fight of at flyweight of Gabriela Fernandez versus Julia Sorlyarenko. I thought Gabriela should have finished this fight. There's multiple occasions throughout this fight where she could have finished the fight. She just didn't. But it was still a relatively fun fight for what it was. Can't be too mad. Next fight up, we have. This is where everything starts to kick off. Earl's Medic versus Gilbert Urbina was absolutely insane for the minute it lasted. 10 seconds in, Gilbert Urbina drops Earl's Medic. Bad! Earls didn't know what what up was. It was looking real bad for Earls, but then he started to lock in, started to land those good shots, going to the body, going back up to the head, landed a couple big hooks up top, flush knee in the clinch, straight to the face, and then at the very end just sleeps him out cold with a left hand. Puts Gilbert Urbina out cold a minute into the fight. Next one up, we have Jocelyn Edwards versus Priscilla Cachoeira. Jocelyn Edwards really just said, "Oh, you're not going to put your hands up? Go to sleep." Priscilla Cachoeira doing what she does the most, which is moving forward with her hands down, swinging for the fences, trying to knock someone out. And Jocelyn Edwards was just finding the chin again and again and again. Jabs, left hooks, and even commentary called it out. Like 5 seconds before it happened, DC is like, "Oh man, that left hook's gonna KO her." Bam! Left hook out cold. It was insane watching Priscilla Cachoeira have no defensive responsibility whatsoever. And Jocelyn Edwards can crack. She just continued to land right on the tip of the chin and dead shotted her out cold, which isn't something we get to see too much at women's bantamweight, so it was really nice to watch. And then next fight up on the card, we have Elijah Smith versus Toshimi Kazama. Yo, Rampage Jackson might be back. Elijah Smith was just beating up on Kazama the entire fight. Kazama would want no part of the stand-up, pull guard, and get smashed on the ground. Just Elijah Smith landed massive ground and pound straight on the face of Kazama as Kazama lays back, looks for leg locks, looks for heel hooks, looks for arm bars even, triangle chokes, and eventually he went for a triangle and didn't want to let go of it, and Elijah Smith picked him up over his head, framed off, and slammed him into the canvas, knocking him completely out cold. But because the ref was slow and old, Elijah Smith did get, I think, 2 or 3 shots of ground and pound off, while Kazama's completely stretched out cold. It was actually very brutal to watch. Kazama stopped moving for at least 7 minutes. It was bad. He was out bad. But hey, that was a crazy highlight reel, and he's probably going to get a bonus for it. Next up, we have Julius Walker versus Rafael Caquera. Might be fight of the night. Genuinely, these two fat blobs were just rocking and wobbling each other back and forth the entire fight. This all really came down to Julius Walker having much better grappling than Rafael Caquera, as Rafael Caquera just couldn't get him off him. And even in round 3, when Julius Walker was completely dead, so was Caquera. It was a crazy fight, crazy pace. Caquera wobbled him like 3 times in round 3, but couldn't finish it. It made no sense how he couldn't get the finish. He just rushed way too hard and just couldn't get it. And that sucked. Next up on the card, we have Eric Anders versus Christian Leroy Duncan. Christian Leroy Duncan schooled Eric Anders. It didn't last that long. Eric Anders had a couple good moments, but Christian Leroy dunking, clear as day, just schooled him. And then once he saw that there was an opening, just spinning back elbowed him out cold. Follow up shots on the side of the fence while he's completely unconscious. Was it necessary? Next question. What? Next question. Uh, Next up, we have Miles Johns versus Gene Matsumoto. Uh, Matsumoto won, but hey, Johns looked way better than normal. He did his research for this fight. Clear as day, Gene Matsumoto win though. Miles Johns won round 1 clearly. Rounds 2 and 3 clearly go to Matsumoto. Matsumoto was outlanding him. He was on the pressure. He was getting massive reactions out of Miles Johns with the leg kicks, with the body kicks. It was just not looking good. Uh, Good stuff from Gene Matsumoto. Wonder where his career is gonna go, but he just had the right game plan in this fight. But also, his striking defense is suspect, bro. We need to check this like quick before he runs into someone who can really like KO him out cold. Next up at featherweight, we have Andre Philly versus Christian Rodriguez. I thought Christian Rodriguez was going to win this one. He seems to fraud check everybody, but Andre Philly, clear as day, won all 3 of these rounds. It was a close fight. Philly was ahead. He was landing much better shots. And it was just, Philly was too quick, too long, and it was too much for Christian Rodriguez to handle. Christian Rodriguez tried to grit down. He went to war. He was throwing crazy, throwing high kicks, overhands, body shots, leg kicks. It just didn't matter. Philly was too fast, too long. Completely had him figured out on the feet early. Timed him. Was just landing everything he wanted to. That check left hook was ringing. It was not good. Not good. Andre Philly clearly beats Christian Rodriguez, I think 30-27. Next up, we have Yasmin Lucindo versus Angela Hill. Angela Hill got dominated. Not very often do we see Angela Hill clearly lose a decision, but she clear as day lost every round of this fight. Lucindo felt a little too big, a little too strong, a little too fast, and hit a little too hard. And Hill just couldn't keep up as the fight went on. It was just too much for her to handle, and eventually Lucindo won the decision. There was a few moments where it looked like Angela Hill might go out, but every time it looked like she was getting rocked on the feet, she would find the clinch. She's very good at that, making the fight way closer than it had any right being. But Yasmin Lucindo schooled Angela Hill in every aspect of MMA. Next up, we have Steve Ercek versus Ode Osborne. Crazy fight, crazy war. Ode Osborne genuinely almost KOs Ercek in round 1. Round 2 is incredibly close, and then Ercek battles back and wins round 2 and round 3. Crazy how we thought this dude was going to be a championship level fighter when he's... Come on, bro. It's Ode Osborne. He's arguably not UFC level. Handle him. Please. Like, we get Ode Osborne around. We get Steve Ercek around. But we can't keep Felipe Dos Santos. This sport, man. This sport. But despite both of them looking completely dog shit in this fight, it was actually a pretty good fight. A very good fight. And that leads us to the main event. Absolute domination from Anthony Hernandez as he fought Roman Dolidze. I don't think there was too many moments in this fight where Dolidze actually looked good. Anthony Hernandez, I hate it. He bitched him out. I never thought I'd see that happen at middleweight, of Roman Dolidze getting completely and totally bitched out by Anthony Hernandez the entire fight. Outstruck, outworked in the clinch, rocked, wobbled, dropped, taken down at will. Hernandez had to have at least 10 takedowns. He had 9 takedowns. He got 9 of 11 takedowns. Tripled him on significant strikes. Tripled him on total strikes. It was an insane insane performance from Anthony Hernandez. He just dominated him. The leg kicks, he was out leg kicking him. I don't think he missed a single one because Roman Dolidze refused to check him. He was landing that 1-2 down the middle was money. It was really fast. Caught Roman off guard. Step in elbows were landing. The elbows in the clinch, the knees in the clinch. His ability to reverse him. Every time he got the takedown, it was like he was just tripping over a little kid. It was crazy watching Hernandez, who's a lot smaller than Dolidze and a lot less muscle bound than Dolidze, completely ragdoll Dolidze. And then we finally get to the fourth round. And Hernandez is putting on a show. Dolidze has been grabbing the cage the entire fight, and Herb Dean's just been letting this happen just because he's getting dogged that bad that Herb Dean's like, all right, let me give him a bone. And then Dolidze hooks the glove. And after he hooks the glove, he tries to hook the fence again. And Herb Dean finally takes a point. 5 seconds after Herb Dean takes a point from Dolidze, Hernandez is submitting him. I mean, he was breaking him on the fence, gets behind him, throws in a rear naked choke, no hooks, stands up, and drags him away from the fucking cage. While Dolidze is being manhandled, he's tapping for his life, gets thrown to the ground, and then Hernandez starts talking shit to the commentary, and then looks at the ref like, what are you going to do about it? Absolute insane performance from Anthony Hernandez. And I think he should fight the loser of Nasser Namavov versus Cal Boralho. I think that's a very, very logical next step. And I think Amavov's going to lose that fight, and then we could have him fight Amavov in January or February. I feel like that's the perfect timeline. And for Roman Dolidze, Paulo Costa just got a win. It's a fresh matchup, and it looks really cool. Disgrace Steve Erceg. Fuck do you mean you're having a close decision with Ode Osborne? I was picking Alex Perez to beat Steve Erceg, and now there's no doubt in my mind Alex Perez would have KO'd Erceg out cold. But that's the recap for this Saturday night. Hopefully I'll see y'all again for the UFC 319 prediction video. And until next time,